Hello and welcome back to My Own Worst Enemy. We're finally getting back around to Blitz, a World in Conflict. And you may have noticed there was a slight delay. It's been far too long, but part of that is because I do go back and watch these sometimes to look for mistakes and to learn myself. And I was watching the last video that I posted, and I am really surprised that no that no one caught this. And I'm actually surprised I missed it because I've been using the this Blitz very detailed sequence of play that's available on Board Game Geek to kind of help guide me through the turn sequence or the sequence of play. And so at the end of the first turn, when I was in and I'm going to pull that sequence of play out here because it tells us the turn in activities. I got down to build weapons. And if you look right up here, each of these charts has one of these. Um, New weapons development. Any 3 units per turn for all groups. For the US in this case, it changes for the other powers. So you look according to their card, you would get to add a certain number of units from available groups. I didn't do that. So that's a pretty big mistake because at the end of the first turn, I could have added 3 for the US, 2 here for the AFA, and so on, and put those in the force pool. And I could have actually bought from, those from the force pool. I could have bought those new units. So I've been hemming and hawing over this. I don't know. My thought here is to just stop this game. I'm only in halfway through turn 2. So my thought here is to maybe just stop the game and start completely over. Since I'm only like I said, a turn and a half in, really. That's one option. Another option would be just to keep on playing, and when I get to the end of turn 2, just do this twice for each major power. But like I said, that I feel like that was a huge mistake in the game because I could have done so much. Germany did not take France, and which is kind of odd. But I feel like they probably would have stood a better chance had I brought down some of these available forces. That might have changed the tide here. Might have gotten the AFA some more naval units to come in here and try to work on this, what's going on in the Mediterranean. So I'm seriously tempted to start this one over. So what I will do, and the other option is, maybe you guys have seen enough and I just maybe just end it here. There's enough to, I think I've certainly taught enough of the game mechanics to kind of aid in how to get started playing this game. That's my least favorite option. I really want to play through a game of this. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and finish turn 2. And if you guys don't mind, leave comments below. Let me know what you'd like to see. Would you like to see me start this completely over? I've made some mistakes, so this isn't the first mistake I've made. I've made some smaller mistakes in this. So starting over is not necessarily a bad thing. But let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see. If you'd like to see me start it over, if you'd like to see me maybe just keep going, or like I said, maybe you've had enough and you'd like to see some new game come to the table, which we're going to see that either way because I've got something on the physical game table that's going to be airing soon. So with that said, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and finish turn 2 and just let me know what you guys would like to see. So one question I had in the last video was this para unit for Germany, and the question I had was, can he just drop into French North Africa here? And reading the rules, and this is on page, let's see, I wrote it down. This is on page 34 of the rule book, and I'm going to turn there real quick so I can read this to you. At least I think it's on page 34. So page 34, section 5.1. If you look down at the bottom of page 34, in the last paragraph, it says a para may also rebase like an air unit provided it did not move or rebase via a transport already during this phase. And they're talking about rebasing air and naval units. And this is where the para unit would move. And it says, and this is the key sentence, these units disregard the presence of enemy units during their rebase. So It sounds to me like if I want to, that this pair unit could drop into French North Africa, and then the combat would be resolved in the land combat phase. That's my take. That's what I'm seeing in the rule book. So if that's not right, somebody let me know. Um, but I think I can do that. I think I can actually take this pair unit and he can drop into French North Africa. It won't matter now because we are going into the Allied activities. So we won't be moving any German units, but we will be using Allied units. So we are in the Allied activities phase, and we will start with return to base. So this North Sea unit is already in port. And I think if you recall, this was actually in the North Sea and it was damaged by this high seas fleet. So he's back in port for now. And then what do I want to do here? I think I want to leave this North Atlantic fleet right where it's at. Or I might want to bring it down into the western approaches because I might want to move this Mediterranean fleet down. The Allies need to do something about what's going on in the Mediterranean right now. The Axis has pretty much control of that, and that's not a good thing. So we do have a battle fleet down here in Egypt, and I mean, what I could do is bring this, start working this Mediterranean Sea fleet down into the Mediterranean and either leave this here in the North Atlantic or bring it into the western approaches. So I've got to guard these convoys. Or I can just leave this right where it's at and keep going. And this is where I said maybe if I had purchased some units in Group 1, let's see. Well, I don't think we actually had any naval units that we could have purchased. Transport, but that wouldn't do us any good. Bombers, though, might have done us some good. Those aren't naval bombers, though. So, and so remember when you rebase, you can move 3 times the movement factor. So we could move this Mediterranean fleet, the 6 spaces. So we could get them into, let's see, where are western approaches? We could go 1. And of course, we'd have to check for being stopped by the fleets that are already in there. Could also move them into Gibraltar and then bring this fleet and this fleet into the Mediterranean to try to attack these fleets. I don't know. I kind of hate to leave these convoys wide open though. But like I said, I could bring this guy could come out and take over guard duties, if you will. I'm not quite sure yet. I think I am going to rebase. I think I'm going to bring this fleet down to Gibraltar. I don't think there's anything else over here to rebase. We still have the Australian fleet down here, but I don't think it's going to rebase. So I think that's going to be it for return to base. I don't think there's any aircraft to worry about either. Let's make sure. Forgot about aircraft last time. We don't want to do that this time. I don't think for the Allies, I don't see any aircraft that need to be rebased. So let's go on to the next activity, which is move to sea area. Now, I do want to bring this North Sea fleet down into the western approaches. And now I've got to make the decision. Do I want to attack here yet, or do I want to wait? I mean, another option would be to bring or to work this Australian fleet back up this way and help with what's going on in the Mediterranean. I might consider that actually. I don't know. Probably should have moved him. Well, let's just leave him there for now. So let's see. There's a 3 and a 3, and there's 2 for that naval bomber. 3 and 2 for the subfleet. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring this battle fleet out into the Mediterranean, and then this Mediterranean fleet out into the Mediterranean. And so I'm going to mark it with one of these markers so I don't forget. There's probably going to be a battle there. And I think as far as move to sea area goes for the Allies, that is going to be it, which will take us into sea combat. So I probably didn't really need to put that out there after all. All right, so the attackers, we have 3, it's going to be 6, -1 for the sub, so we're at 5 for the attackers. And the attackers are red. And the defenders, there is no air round here, by the way, because well, actually, I take that back. There is an air round. I'm getting ahead of myself. There are air units on that Mediterranean Sea fleet. So there will be an air round, air combat. So let's do that first. So that is 1 for the, let's see, one combat factor plus 2 of the white triangles, so that goes to 3. Well, wait a minute. Let's make sure no, there's other factors. So yeah, white triangle. So it's 1 plus 2 is 3. So I think that's going to be the attackers for the air will be on 3. And for the defenders, they have 1 plus 2, so it's going to be 3. So I guess the attacker and the defender will be on 3. And we will roll attacker and defender. So that is a 6 for the attackers and a 3 for the defenders. So, okay, the attackers, that is a 1 step loss and a small blitz, 1/3 must return. So 1 step loss, actually, that's going to destroy this dive bomber, this naval bomber, because it only has 1 size factor. So that will eliminate this unit. It will go back into the force pool. And as far as what the defender did, they did a small blitz, 1/3 must return to base or retreat, not advance. Air blitz, air units only do 1. Oh, that's for blitz. What I'm wondering is, let's see, attacking land units. No. What I'm wondering is, it's a 1/3 of the units must return. I don't think that's going to matter here because it was an air combat round first. So I don't think there's any need for this unit to retreat. Is that true? So actually, I'm not sure that's true. I think maybe they do have to. I think they do have to retreat if I remember correctly. So they did get an S, so it is 1/3 of the enemy units must return to base or retreat, not advance. So I think that does mean that I mean it was air to air, so I think that means this unit has to come back to port, has to rebase. So I'm going to bring this battle fleet back. This could be another mistake I'm making, and if so, it may be another argument for starting over. So let me know if that's not right. So that would leave. Now we fight the naval surface combat round. So we start over. We have 3 -1 for the subfleet, so that's going to be 2 now for this fleet. So that's going to put them on the 2. Well, that's not good. That's this changes thing. That's why I kind of hesitated to do this. So here we have 3, 4, -1, so they're at 3 for the defenders. We will clear these and we will roll and see what we get. We get a 5 for the attackers and a 2 for the defenders. So 2 is going to be nothing for the 3, but we get a small blitz again for the attacker. So it's going to force one of these back to port. So I'm going to leave the sub out there and we'll say that this fleet will come back into port. And that will resolve that combat round. And actually, I think that's all the sea combat rounds we had this turn for the allies. So we'll go to rebase air and naval units. And so, da, 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 da. So wait a second here. I think I screwed up that too. I think I've screwed up the move to sea area. So what I should have done, did I do that right? So I had this Mediterranean fleet. I rebased him, but that wasn't a rebase phase. I got confused. But could he still have moved into the Mediterranean Sea? He had a movement factor of 2, 1, 2. So he still could have done that. So that was okay. And then return to base and move to sea area. So that was all okay. All right, I didn't screw up. So that's good. So, and then this is the rebase. So this is where we would actually be able to move the 3 times the movement factor for air and naval units. And I don't think I want to do any of that. I don't think. Well, this is where I said I could move. If I had brought this Australian fleet into port, that is, I could have moved him. He could move 2, so he could go up to 6. I probably could have moved him up into the Mediterranean. Maybe I should have done that, but oh well. And that's going to take us down to move land units. So we had the Germans try to take France and fail. We know they're going to try to do that again. So, mm, what I should have done was moved this transport back and then brought out the second army. But I didn't. I didn't see that. I said, yeah, you really got to think ahead in this game. And part of the other problem is I'm trying to get through this turn in a hurry because like I said, I really don't know if I'm even going to finish this game. So um, I probably need to just slow down a little bit and put a little more thought into this for now anyway. So it wouldn't have mattered. So this even if I'd done that, this army unit, I couldn't have got him across in time to get to France anyway, so that's not gonna do any good. Um, I don't think the Allies or the AFA really wants to move any land units. I could move this guy back though. Wait a second here. Because he had to retreat. We have the 7th Army down here too. So that might be worth doing. I could move the 7th Army up to here. I'm going to leave this. Do I want to leave Vichy France unoccupied? Probably not. Because then they could just walk in there through the Alps and just take that factory. I'm going to leave that unit there. Don't want to move anybody down here. I don't believe I do. Over here, I think I do want to move one of these armies down to Calcutta. or further, maybe even into Burma. So to move into that swamp, it is two movement factors to move into swamp. So he can move 3, so he can go 1, 2, 3. That's forest. I don't think that. Yeah, actually that does. Or is that jungle? I think that's jungle. I don't think that's forest. So it looks like he could move all the way into this army could move all the way into Burma, it looks like to me. So he could go 1, 2. Or is that jungle? See, I think that's jungle. So I can certainly move to Calcutta, 1, 2, and I can't move into Burma this turn. So I'm going to do that. And this army, I'm going to leave there for now. And I think that's going to do it for army movement. Land area combat. I don't think I moved anybody into combat. And again, I'm starting to see now how important adding those units to the force pool was. I could have pulled out more offensive units, and I should be more on the offense right now, and I'm not. And I think that's gonna hurt. So really tempted to start this one over, but like I said, I'm gonna leave that in your hands. Let me know what you think. So there's going to be no, whoops, there's going to be no land. Well, where am I going? there's going to be no land combat. So um, that is going to be the end of the activities phase, and it will take us into the Blitz phase for the Axis. And so here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be a short video that got us through between the last video and this one. We are through Axis activities and allied activities. So this would be a good place to stop because, like I said, I don't know if this game is even worth continuing. So please let me know if you'd like to see me plot on through this one with the mistake that I made, the huge mistake of not adding my new units to the force pool, or yeah, just let me know what you'd like to see me do. Like I said, the options were stop this one and start over. Keep going with the mistakes that I've made, even though I made the one big mistake. Or maybe you'd like to see me just call it quits here, and maybe you want to recommend another game for me to do. I kind of want to do Blitz though. And another option might be maybe I'm trying to take on too much with doing the entire game. Maybe you just want to see the Pacific portion, or maybe you just want to see the European portion. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know how to proceed with Blitz. This is a fun game. I'm having a good time. I need to slow down and pay a little more attention, and I will certainly try to do that. So I thank you for being patient with how long it took me to get this one out, and I hope you come back to see whatever form the next whatever form the next Blitz turn takes, whether it's turn 1 again or it's something different. I will see you back here next time. Thanks for watching.